Spoilers! There are spoilers in this video as to how to solve the London Metro memory game. I'm about to give you some tips and some techniques and just talk about the game in general and some mnemonics which you can help us to solve the quiz that's driving the internet mad at the moment, how to get 100% to tick off all the stations. But in doing so, I will mention a lot of station names. So if you don't want those station names to be revealed to you just yet, skip, don't watch this video, come back to it. But if you want my tips and things and thoughts on everything on how to get 100%, then keep on watching this video. Okay, so some first thoughts. It's the London Metro memory game, london.metro-memory.com. There'll be a link in the description, all that kind of stuff. If you've not seen it, it's not the first time there's been a quiz like this online. There's been many quizzes online before, like can you fill in a blank tube map? This one, though, looks really nice. It's a perfectly drawn geographical map of London. You can zoom in. Looks better on a desktop. Don't play it on your phone. It's terrible on a phone. And you can zoom right in and you can see all the lines, but all the place names in London are missing. They've been blanked out and you have to fill in the station names. It's interesting that it's just the tube, the overground and the DLR and the Elizabeth line, because the actual tube map contains, of course, the trams, and the trams aren't on here. Neither, if you're taking it that far, is Thameslink. Thameslink is on the actual tube map. I would like to see a version, because as we'll get to in a minute, the overground and the DLR causing a lot of problems for people. Wouldn't it be great, person that develops this quiz, if there was an option with just tick boxes and you could say, just give me the 272 tube stations, and you could sort of feel like you'd have achieved just the tube 100% on that before moving on to the advanced level. You could like then tick on like the overground and tick on the DLR and tick on the trams. Add in the trams. That'd be fun. And Thameslink. Just do one for the whole of London. But there are some tips and tricks which you might want to know straight away. And I can pretty much get all the tube stations. Like I said, it's the overground and the DLR that causes problems, but we will get to that. But when I was playing it, for example, don't just like stay at the same zoom level. Zoom right in and look at some of the details around. Like I got Holland Park because I was looking, I was like, yeah, what is that station on the Central line? And then in my head, I saw the green, bit of, land that was the park. And I thought, oh, it's right near Holland Park. Oh, Holland Park, that's what it is. And that's how I was reminded what Holland Park was. I could do quite well with getting all the tube stations. It's worth knowing. I've got a list here. There are just some certain common words which you should know and love and try. For example, just try all the compass points. So this works for like Clapham and for Acton and for Hounslow and for Ruislip. Just try north, south, east, west. So do like North Acton, East Acton, South Acton, West Acton. And sometimes remember that sometimes the compass point, like with say Lambeth North, comes after. So like, and with the Hounslow, so it's not North Hounslow, so it's not like West Hounslow or East Hounslow. It's Hounslow West and Hounslow East. So the compass point can either be the first word or the second point. So if you get a station name, just try all combinations of all the compass points. Whilst you're there, you should just learn, and I will put them up on screen, that some of the most common words on the tube map are Park Road, Green Hill, Town, Central, Common, Cross, Square, Lane. Now, Park really helped me because when I was trying to get the overground out east, I'd got Wanstead on the Central line, but I'd missed Wanstead Park. I couldn't remember Wanstead Park, and I sat there going, well, hang on, maybe it's like Wanstead Lane or Wanstead South or Wanstead Park. And, oh, it is, it's Wanstead Park. Of course it is. Use those common words against station names which you may have already got to see if it's a nearby station. That's a really good tip, which really does work. I also found out there's some shortcuts if you're typing in, if you want to do this in a hurry. I don't think there's a speed run version of this yet. The word road, so if you're doing, say, Tottenham Court Road, that can be abbreviated just down to RD. That saves you a bit of time. It doesn't do things like cross, though, like Hatton Cross or Brent Cross, or Charing Cross. I want to be able to type like Hatton and then an X. That would be nice. That shortcut doesn't work. But if you find any other shortcuts, let me know in the comments. People have been asking me what percentage, what score am I at? Well, I did it over the course of about a week. Now, some people have been going down the path of just because even if you close your browser, because of the cookies, I think it will remember your score from the previous browsing session, which is funny, actually, because they missed out, was it Ivor and a station on the Northern Line? I forget which one. The original quiz had 2 stations missing, and some people got to 100%, and then the developer added in the 2 missing stations, and when you got that, you were then able to score 103%. So well done if you're one of the few that has got more than 100%. That is possible. But what I did was I got to 80% a breeze, which I think is all the tube plus some. I struggle with the overground and DLR, and we are getting to that. Then over about a course of 3 or 4 days, I got up to like 90%. And then after many more days, of like really racking my brain and things just coming to me in the shower or when I'm out running, you sort of, you're out running one day and suddenly you go, Wood Grange Park, of course, it just comes to you. I got up to 95% and then I just stopped. Then I just gave up. Then I was like, no, this is annoying me too much. And I stopped and I quit and I looked at a tube map and then I filled in the ones I was like, oh, of course, Bush Hill Park. How could I have forgotten that? Turkey Street. You should totally learn Turkey Street, by the way, because it is the funniest name on the tube map. But then when I did that moment of like, oh yeah, all these ones that I forgot, I then reset it, because you can reset it and go back to blank and instantly do it. And this time I got like up to 90%, not 80%. And basically every time you reset and go again, your score improves. So a way to get 100% is to do it, get stuck, look up the ones you're missing, reset, do it from scratch, which is totally valid. And every time you'll get slightly more. And eventually you probably will get 100%. But if you don't, if you're still getting stuck, and I think, now there's the caveat that of course says, like for example, if you commute every day from say Chalfont or Amersham and Chesham and like the Met line is your regular line in and out, then you're going to know North Harrow and Pinner, that catches so many people out. And then you're going to know it. If you commute say on the overground from Enfield Town into Liverpool Street, if that's your line, it's a breeze for you. It's easy. You get to hear the automated announcement every day, but it's like areas that you don't often travel to or definitely don't commute to that you get stuck with. However, I do think that a lot of people know the destination stations, like the terminus stations. So if you said to someone, where is an eastbound district line train likely to terminate? Most people would know that it's Upminster. It's the 3 or 4 before Upminster that you get really stuck with. I'd like to think that most people would know the overground out of Liverpool Street is Enfield, Cheshunt and Chingford. But could you do the stops in between? No, that's hard. Like in my mind, I know that the bottom of the DLR is Lewisham, but the one before, Elverson Road. So it's like you get all the terminal stations, the destinations, but it's the ones leading up to the termini that are tricky. And with that in mind, I've got 5 little techniques here. One which is a graphic, well, they're all kind of graphics, but mainly like they're mnemonics, which help me remember it. For ages, I could not remember the stations on the Piccadilly line leading up to Southgate and Arnos Grove. And one day I came up with like a picture mnemonic in my head, which was the phrase empty green or empty greens. Imagine like a green playing field that was just empty. And what that literally translates to in my head is then the letters M and T, empty, and then greens that are just empty, an empty green. And what that is the 4 stations. So is M is Manor House, T is Turnpike Lane, thank you, and then the greens are then Bounds Green and Wood Green. And that is how I remember those 4 stations, the phrase empty greens. I have more mnemonics. Now, I was talking about the eastern end of the district line, and that's because most people, I think, can get Upminster. But if you're going to Upminster and you're heading into town, that's where a lot of people struggle. If you're struggling on the eastern end of the district line, again, spoilers, answer coming up. But if you want to know the handy mnemonic to learn it, I came up with this. I'm reading it off my screen. You usually haven't eaten dog's dinner because, as in like, it's disgusting. So think of a human not eating a dog's dinner, because why would you? Because that would be just weird. And you've got usually haven't eaten dog's dinner because, which gives you the letters UHEDDBU, which gives you Upminster Bridge, Hornchurch, Elm Park, Dagenham Heathway, Dagenham East, Becontree and Upney. And that is how I genuinely remember those tricky to remember stations on the eastern end of the district line, just through the first letter. This then works again out west on the Elizabeth line, because for ages I could remember like Ivor and Burnham, but I couldn't remember Langley for some reason. Langley was the one that I could never remember out west on the Crossrail Perp train Elizabeth line. So again, assuming that you remember that the far western end is Reading, then coming in east, you have to remember that the phrase is this map that brings sudden losers. This map that brings sudden losers, TMTBSL, gives you Twyford, Maidenhead, Taplow, Burnham, Slough and Langley is the phrase I learned to help me remember the western stations out on the western end of the district line. Of the Elizabeth line. The other one, which is so hard, and I mentioned this earlier because it's so hard, is that bit of the overground out of Liverpool Street, going up to Enfield. I couldn't remember Rectory Road and Stoke Newington for so long. They were like, I think they were the ones that I didn't get at all, but in between the 95% to 100%. So really stop stressing, because winning solves everything. Is what I came up with to give me RSSBWSE, which is Rectory Road, Stoke Newington, Stamford Hill, Bruce Grove, White Hart Lane, Silver Street and Edmonton Green. And suddenly you filled in that bit of the overground. Which brings me to the bit of the DLR which I hate the most, which is the section going out to Beckton. Now again, Beckton, I've got a mnemonic for this, and it's my favourite one. And it does make me remember these tricky stations. So yes, you have to know that it's Beckton is the last stop, and then again coming back in, so starting at the second to last stop, heading west into central London, I've got Geoff can be really pleased. I remember this one a lot. It gives you the letters G, C, B, R, P. Geoff can be really pleased, which gives you G for Galleon's Reach, C for Cyprus, B for Beckton Park, R for Royal Albert, and P for Prince Regent. And that is how I genuinely remember those 5 stations going out to Beckton, or the way back from Beckton into London. That's it. Those are my strategies. I shall put as the pinned comment down below a hilarious list of fake station names, which I sent to my friend the other day because he was really struggling, and I came up with a whole bunch of station names that sounded like they should be stations, but were completely fake. If you've got your own better mnemonics, put them in the comments. If you've got your own strategies or tips for how to remember it, again, put those in the comments and let me know what score you got as well. Good luck, and you too can get to 100%.